brings together the leaders of the most powerful 8 nations in the world. Seen here at the summit in 2008, the G8 is a chance for leaders to discuss solutions to global problems. Aid groups are hopeful the G8 leaders this year will decide to increase development aid to Africa. Meredith Alexander is with the anti-poverty group Action Aid in London. She says the G8 has the opportunity to help struggling African nations.
Action Aid expects that roughly $50 billion will be lost for Africa this year as a result of the recession. But then things like climate change, growing crisis of hunger, still older issues like HIV/AIDS and education, all of these things together are problems for Africa, and it's great to see that the G8 is actually taking these issues seriously this year.
ActionAid hopes African agriculture will be one area that will receive an increase of aid from the G8. Alexander says helping smallholder farmers such as these in Ghana could reduce hunger. But she says the G8 has a history of making empty promises.
We think that the G8 leaders really should be putting their money where their mouth is, and that responsibility is first and foremost to the host, Italy.
But a recent report released by the international aid organization ONE says the upcoming summit host, Italy, is not pulling its weight. The group says Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi has utterly failed to maintain the assistance to Africa promised at a summit in 2005. ONE's Europe director, Oliver Buston.
You want a chair that will really hold people's feet to the fire and make sure that promises are kept. And he's not in a very credible position to do that at the moment.
The group says it is hopeful other foreign leaders will put pressure on Italy to reverse its spending cuts and do more to develop African agriculture.
It's a basic thing about keeping promises, and we know that when this aid money is used effectively, it can achieve great results. These G8 countries have made promises to the poorest people on the planet. They've got to keep them.
ONE says African countries have only received 1/3 of the aid promised by the G8 in 2005. But it and other advocacy groups hope leaders at this year's summit will be aware of the need to do more. Catherine Cannon, VOA News, London.